Well, it's the first weekend of playoffs with coverage brought to you by Alienware. I'm joined right now by Bjergsen after an exhausting, grueling 5-game series against Evil Geniuses. Bjergsen, we were just talking before this. You're feeling pretty tired right now.
Yeah. That's usually what happens when you play 5 freaking long games.
Yeah. I mean, what was it like going through those 5 games? Because I think so many people predicted this series to be a 3-0 for TL because they did not expect EG to put up so much of a fight. So what was it like for you having played those 5 games just now?
I think EG actually did pretty well. And I mean, 2 of the games, they got major advantages level 1, especially the game 4, where they picked a really strong early game team comp. And then we lost 5 flashes at level 1 and they got like 3 kills. So I don't want to say the game is over at that point, but it's really, really hard to win if they play somewhat decently. So, we did get the one shot on Leona and then we could have just backed off. But, when you kill that one guy, then you just, we can keep going. Yeah. But no, they have Lucian, Ezreal, Graves. They're going to murder us, even though we killed Leona. We used everything on Leona. I think they had some really good level 1s and some good early game strategies. And I think we need to just take a look at kind of our preparation going into the next series against Arthurs.
I'm trying to remember the other level 1. I forget if it was game 2 or game 3 where they caught you heading to lane. What happens at that moment for you mentally? Are you just like, or are you just like, okay, I can keep this going?
Oh, man, this just sucks. There's not really too much to say. I mean, I think we had kind of a weird reaction by going into the jungle and standing there, and we were kind of hoping that maybe we could catch him at Rise as he goes to ward, because warding early against Jarvan is very common, but we also had a sweeper, and we decided not to use a sweeper, and we walked over a ward, so I think a few kind of brain farts in level 1s this game that we need to clean up.
Were you surprised at all by the EG that showed up today? Because I feel like a lot of people were.
I think they kind of cleaned up their drafts. I would say some of the more recent losses that they had, I felt like their drafts were really weak, but I think generally they drafted pretty well. I mean, they went for a pretty ballsy Game 5 draft to Snowball and wasn't really successful, but I'm not too surprised that they're performing well. I mean, I think Inspired had a really good series, a really strong series, Impact as well, and they just have good players in every single role, so it's not really a team that you can just count out.
Heading into this weekend, I think a lot of people were saying, all right, the best team is Team Liquid, maybe, and then you have like C9 right behind them. 100 Thieves is looking better, and then there's kind of everybody else. This weekend, it feels like a lot of those expectations were turned upside down because we have 100 Thieves obviously beating out Cloud9 in what was a pretty one-sided matchup, EG putting up a bigger fight than people expected. So do you think that it's still clear-cut on who the best teams are right now, or do you think everything's going wild as we're getting into playoffs?
It's a bit hard to say. I think 100 Thieves definitely was on the come-up, and C9 kind of losing a lot of their momentum, I would say, and becoming a little bit predictable. And the way that they tried to adapt with the Renekton obviously was not working against, I think Someday is one of the happiest players to play Ornn into that Renekton and just chill top. And Closer is always performing really well on the Lee Sin. So I don't really know. I think that we could have definitely done better preparing for EG, and I still think that the way that they played the game is pretty predictable. At least you know how they want to play. But I don't think we really did a very good job of countering it. We were kind of focusing on ourselves and what we wanted to do, which is okay. But I think we could have done a better job coming into the series, and we really need to look at these 2 weeks and our prep into 100 Thieves.
I was going to ask about that because you have these 2 weeks off. Is it weird to have the weekend off, or are you happy to have the extra time to prepare?
I think it's good for us. I mean, a team can change a lot in 2 weeks of scrims, and there's some things that I would like for us to change that I hope that we can change in the next 2 weeks. And having that time right now is really nice because, the series is going to be really exciting because both teams have this time to adapt and have this time to change. We both showed, we should probably show more because we played 5 games, 100 Thieves only played 3. But I think for our team, where we are right now, there's a lot to learn from this series, and I'm happy that we have 2 weeks to take things away from it.
Yeah. Any guess on who could stop you from winning this championship?
I would say ourselves. I mean, I think we made a lot of silly mistakes that could have easily lost us this series. And if we are doing these silly things, these silly mistakes, then we can lose to just any of the top teams, really. I mean, C9 has been looking not great, but I think they have the capability and the players that are able to turn it around. EG came in strong today. 100 Thieves has been looking really strong recently. But I'm not really too worried about any specific opponent, just looking at cleaning up our own weaknesses.
Very good. I got a haircut yesterday. I don't know if you have recently, but I've. Oh, wow. He's here. Do you want to pop in and say hello? You just stand in the background and cheer. You're good friends with him, so I just thought. Yeah, 3. He says. Speaker says he said 3-0. What happened?
I said I wanted to make it exciting for the fans, but I'm lying.
I was expecting the Zillion Game 5.
Yeah, why no Zillion Game 5?
I knew we were going to win anyway, so I'm saving it for next series,
Got you.
Is mind control enemy coach to pick reject in Italy? That's
Very good. Very good.
Yep.
Thank you, Speaker, for the hard-hitting questions. We'll catch you later. All right, Bjergsen, anything you want to say to the fans out there?
Well, I think we didn't show up as strong as the fans kind of expected us to, and that I even expected us to. Sometimes we don't perform super well in scrims, but we have a lot of players with experience that we just kind of show up on stage and do better. But I think maybe similar to C9, some of our weaknesses in scrims are showing up on stage, and you can't expect the stage team to be different than the team you are in practice because you play how you practice. So I think these 2 weeks we'll really have time to look at those things, and I hope we can show up much stronger against 100.
Very good. Thank you so much, Bjergsen, for the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things playoffs right here on my YouTube channel. As big as this screen is, it's nowhere near as cool as the Alienware 34-inch OLED monitor, available now at alienware.com/Travis. There's a link in the description below. You got to check this thing out. It's the first of its kind. It's getting rave reviews. Just look it up. It's amazing. Again, alienware.com/Travis. Link in the description. Thanks, Alienware, for sponsoring.